Home, Chapter 21. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira. Artwork provided by XAA. You can find a link to the artist's Tumblr in the description box. If you haven't heard the previous 20 chapters, you can find a link to them in the description box. If you're still listening to this intro, comment Adrien aggressed so I know you listened to it. Now then, don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't, don't know why you haven't already if you're at part 21, but whatever, and hit the bell to stay up to date on the latest parts of your favorite fanfiction. I will be liking as many comments as I can, especially those that are original comments and not just like suggested comments. Anyway, Chapter 21. Adrien aggressed. Adrien stared at his phone and sighed, knowing he shouldn't be upset. Sure, he and Marinette were friends, but it wasn't the same dynamic he shared with her as Cat Noir. Their conversation thus far was dry. So dry, in fact, he found himself simply not replying at times. He was also curious if Paris was truly Akuma-free for 5 days, or if Ladybug and her new Cat Noir took care of it discreetly. Ugh, a new Cat Noir. He knew Plagg wasn't allowed to bring him the ring back, because he was formally removed from being his master. The only way to get Plagg, and his ring, back was to physically get his hands on him. Whatever. Kwamis can't bring their rings to a new owner. They can only bring it back to them. Dumb rules. He wouldn't be surprised if Plagg tried to bring him the ring already and got in trouble for it. But did he want to be Cat again? It should seem obvious that he'd want to, the superhero-loving boy he was. It was like being in some shonen anime, and what healthy-minded guy could pass up that? And yet, despite the heartbreak and the lack of freedom, the last 4 days had been the most peaceful ones he'd had in what, a year? A year and a half? His chronic fatigue was nearly gone, and he wasn't constantly lying to his friends and father. He didn't worry about his homework being done, and he didn't have to skimp on practice. He felt normal, and not pre-miraculous normal. Adrien felt like any other guy, and it felt good. Sure, he wasn't allowed to have friends over, but he'd managed to go over to Nino's place just last night after his homework and practice was done. It's not like he had chores to do or anything. Was he beat up from what Ladybug did? Yeah, of course. But this golden hour in his room where he didn't have to go anywhere or do anything except take in the smell of his freshly washed comforter, bathed in rich light, was something he didn't want to trade away. The only thing that would make it better would be if he was curled up with the person he liked, although there is comfort in solitude. Closing his eyes for a late afternoon nap, Adrien fell asleep in a great mood. It was a beautiful golden hour for the sunshine boy. But alas, all golden hours fade, be it into daylight or into night dark. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 22 is on its way. If you are listening to this end screen, comment your choice of either daylight or night dark, whatever you want. I will catch you in Chapter 22. Bye!